Okay. Hello and welcome back to FusionLore. No, I forgot the name of the show. I was like, what? Fusion something. Hey everybody, welcome back to FusionLore. I'm Magic and I'm joined by my co-host Matt. How are you, Matt?
How you doing? I'm doing great. How are you?
And this is our FusionFall lore podcast where we go mission by mission, 30 minutes at a time, to figure out what the heck is going on in this game, because I'd proven today I surely didn't know. I surely didn't know. Matt, I'm excited. Can you guess why?
Why are you excited?
Because we found out about something today that we missed in the last episode.
Oh, you mean the rest of the missions?
The rest of the missions. The entire time you play the game, your character is always talking about the mission he's doing.
Oh, I see.
I've never known this. What the hell?
In first-person perspective the whole time as well.
I can't be the only person that didn't know this. I refuse to think I'm the only person that played this game and didn't know. You check your mission while you're doing, or your journal while you're doing missions. It lets you know what's going on in everybody's thought. Man, we have a lot to talk about today. I'm going to go ahead and start this timer because, man, I've been waiting a fat minute to talk about the stuff in here. All right, timer set. Can I have to start, right? I have to start. There are so many missions we did. We did all the level 1 and level 2 missions, right? And the one mission that stood out among all these important, we have to make sure we do this so we can save ourselves from this, and we have to rebuild the time machine so you can go save the future or the past or whatever. Matt, what mission stood out?
Oh my god. Magic. Apologies.
What?
Brain didn't go through.
Matt, let me refresh your memory then. Do you remember a mission called Remove Toppings?
Oh, you know what? I do remember. And I think actually you mean robbing the toppings.
You're absolutely right. It is robbing the top. Mind telling me about that mission?
Well, first of all, those fusion spawns were up to no good. You know, they're out here. They're in our kitchens, in our houses, and they're taking our pizza toppings.
Not the
you
pizza.
Heard me correctly.
Not the pizza. The toppings.
Hey, but you know, you can't have toppings without a pizza. Otherwise, it's just plain food.
Not a cheese pizza?
A cheese pizza is a good option.
I'm very confused, upset, even that among all these emissions that they make us feel like we're doing some genuine work to save the likelihood of all of the Cartoon Network universe. They sent us on a mission because the Fusions took pizza toppings off of number 2's pizza, and they treated it so seriously.
No, the only reason it's serious is because no one else wanted to do it. They sent us on a hazing mission. We collected pepperoni, mushrooms, and pickles.
Pickles!
For number 2.
For pizza!
Who the hell puts pickles on their pizza?
I'll do you one better, friend. Who the hell wants the toppings that were taken off the pizza back? These are slimy monsters. I guarantee you all that stuff we got back was covered in fusion matter. And he wants them back?
Listen, I don't understand it quite myself, but I know number 2 to be a kind of a different breed of man.
You're telling me they don't call him Hoagie for nothing?
For no reason.
What the hell? I don't think I'll ever get over it. The entire time we play this game, I'm going to think back to this specific mission and say, was that one really necessary?
Let's not forget we got all the toppings, most of them back from fly-like creatures.
Fly creatures, a vacuum cleaner, a rock monster. This pizza is not edible anymore. I'm starting to think he wanted them back on the principle alone. Like, who are you to take my toppings?
And he sent us on principle.
Not himself.
Us.
Number 2 is a
That's
mysterious
messed up.
man who works in mysterious ways.
More than that.
And our reward for that, right? Our reward for running around was $60 and a level 2 crate.
That wasn't worth it.
For $60, that man could have got at least 2 new pizzas.
That crate scammed me.
What was in your
I'm just
crate?
saying. Jet ray goggles.
Like the ones we get at the start of the game.
Absolutely. The exact ones.
Oh, waste of time. It was. Oh, waste of time. Speaking of waste of time, all these important missions we're doing, right? Why are we doing any other missions than fixing the time machine?
Why is that?
What is the point?
No, where's our priorities?
Right? If
we're trying to get back to a place and they're setting us on these wild goose chases, you know, like, why are we looking for toppings when we could be going back to the future?
The literal world is drowning in fusion matter. There are oceans surrounded by us the entire time, right? And instead of focusing our time on fixing the time machine so we can be sent back to stop this war from getting to this point, they have us running around looking for pizza parts.
I don't get it. It doesn't make much sense to me.
They have us trying to fix the treehouse. They have us stopping Fuse from looking at little kids. More on that later, apparently. And just absolutely dunking on Mandark when I feel like nothing else should be going on except trying to go back to the past. It does not make sense to me. But what do I know? I'm just the kid who signed up for a time traveling thing and now I'm supposed to save the world.
But if you want to get into having to repair the treehouse to begin with.
What do you mean? What are you thinking?
Well, first of all, what is with the security around here?
What?
Why security? Are we going? Why are we getting? Listen. We're getting all of our stuff back from the low level spawns in the area. You're telling me they stole it?
Right.
What the hell are our heroes doing?
Why are we
Where's
so
number
weak?
2?
Number 2's not doing anything. He's worried about the pizza, man.
That, you know what? That makes sense. Maybe he couldn't do anything about it because he was hungry.
This man was so pissed off and starved after they took his pizza toppings. Let me remind you, it's only the toppings they took. He still had a cheese pizza, but he was so upset he could not even eat that, and it let the treehouse get destroyed. Not destroyed, and let the treehouse hit the ground, which they don't talk about why the treehouse was in the air to begin with.
I think it has to do with the fact that the monsters around the tree, those beetle magnets, they are sapping away the energy from the time machine. And part of why we are doing the missions is to get the tree floating in the air again, so that way it's out of reach from them.
That makes sense. Okay, I understand. I see.
At least that's my reasoning for it.
No, that makes sense. It's floating so that the spawns can't reach it, except for like the bounce pads that are on opposite sides of the treehouse, so we can get on there. They just don't know how to operate the bounce pads.
Or they do, and that's why they're so far away from, so that way they go splat. It's a good option as well.
I don't know what's going on. I do know that's something we talked about in the last episode, where we were speculating that Ben and Dexter both died. The first thing we saw when we started playing today was Hero Square Memorial with both Dexter and Ben on it. And also, to add to that theory, looking in the journal to see what our player said after completing the Buttercup Nano mission, we defeated her, but I don't know if Dexter managed to escape. Dexter may very well be confirmed to be, I'll say, missing for this children's game, because they wouldn't say he died.
Well, he's missing in terms of what we know right now.
From our perspective of what happened, the player's perspective, Dexter's gone. We can't determine, we can't figure out what's going on with him or Ben. At least we get like the hologram of Dexter. We don't get anything for Ben.
Well, that, and also the fact that everything in our own perspective, we're shaping the story while we complete the missions. Everything we collect, everything we have, everything we've known, we are all documenting it. And it's a shame we can't go back and see every little bit of dialogue for all the missions, but everything is shaping up together. You get an idea and a feel for the lore in the game when you're staring at these these notes that you have.
Oh
Keep
my
in mind,
God.
it does say my notes.
Someone should collect all the player notes from the game and make a diary, a player diary. I would buy that, but that's too much work for me to put together. Because that's essentially what he has. He's making a diary about his time in the apocalypse.
That would involve playing the game from start to finish, and every single time you update your mission in any way, shape, or form, you change an objective, you have to go and check your notes.
You really would be playing as the player, though.
You would literally be the player.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing wrong with that.
Personified.
I'm sure there's some dedicated fan out there somewhere.
You're a personified hero in the world of FusionFall.
If we can go back to the treehouse security.
Oh, of course.
I think I understand how it got taken down so easily in the first place, right? Even by the level 1 monsters. One of the very first missions that we do for number 2, the 2x4 technology mission.
Yeah.
Mans wants us to go get planks of wood because he thinks that's the key to fixing the time machine. And even our player says he used 2x4s that were scattered around Sector V to fix the busted time machine, but it's still not working. I wonder why. Who knows why it didn't work? Slap some planks of woods on it. That'll fix it.
We got jerked around the map collecting wood when it wouldn't have helped us to begin with.
Right? And our player's like sitting there, and I feel like, at least if I was in this situation, I'd be like, well, I guess number 2 has built some pretty crazy contraptions before. Maybe he knows something about the power of wood that I don't, and I would still collect it. But once it didn't work, I would be so aggravated.
I feel like the very fact we got a reward for this mission whatsoever is because number 2 felt bad for us.
He's looking at you.
Like, damn, we sent you around the whole Sector V looking for wood just for it to not work. I am so sorry. Here's a lightning sword. And $30.
$30 on a sword.
For your troubles.
I'll think of something else. Don't worry about it, kid. I'm starting to see why these are the heroes that were failing in the war. Although they are also the heroes that have lasted the longest. So what did I say about the characters we don't see in the future?
The more competent ones we believe to be. Why are they still around?
It doesn't make any sense.
Nothing makes sense. I feel like they don't have any survival skills. It's just the fact that they haven't moved. Is that the only point of their survival? Is they haven't moved.
This is just the furthest point on the map from where Fuse started, and he just hasn't finished taking over yet. That's the only reason they survived.
Keep it knowing, if it started there, they would not have survived. And maybe even so. Oh, you know what? No, they would have only gone missing. They would have gone missing, and that would have been it. You know. But no, Dexter's missing, quote unquote, to our knowledge and our perspective.
It doesn't make sense. It hurts my head to think about. Everything in the future that we've experienced so far has been so backwards to my belief of what's going on in FusionFall, to the point where I'm just rationalizing this by saying we're in an alternate timeline. Don't worry about it. That's why they're so weak. This isn't the main timeline yet. Everything will be fine when we go back to the past. They drunk some dum-dum juice or something.
Guarantee you the only reason why we were sent to this point in time in order to help them is because of the other mission we had, the Shock and Owl.
Why do you say that?
Well, the very fact of the matter is that the treehouse was they were having their energy siphoned by the shock tanglers.
Mm-hmm.
They needed us to go defeat them in order for them to preserve their energy. So what if this is right before Sector V collapsed?
Right before?
Yeah. Think about it. If we weren't there to go on this mission and do the missions that we did in order to try to fix the time machine, we would have never made it to the past.
You're absolutely right. Because the treehouse is already on the ground. They're like, we desperately need these things. They were on the brink of like falling apart, right? And that's not to mention that number 2 was not even here. He was in Tech Square. We rode with him to Sector V on the Scamper, which means it definitely would have fell. because we probably helped save some of the characters in Tech Square when we were there to allow them to come back here to even be able to do anything.
We were a key component in both the future and the past.
Not that the future really matters that much. The only goal should be making the time machine. That should be the only goal. Stop sending me on these wild missions. Can we talk about Fuse for a second?
Wait, we're a living paradox.
What do you mean?
We're from the future, correct?
No, we're from the past.
We're from the past.
We're from before the invasion, right before it.
So we're right from before the invasion. We
Correct.
go to the future, too far into the future.
And the almost the end of the invasion, where we're almost crushed out. And we're building a time machine to go back to some point in the middle of the invasion. I assume unspecified so far.
I would assume it's pretty deep in.
You think? Not at like the very start?
I mean, look at the ocean. That's not supposed to be ocean. Let's be real.
But I'm saying when we get sent back to the past.
You know, yeah, midway through, I would say during the apex of it, if you would.
Because
why else would we be needed there?
Because we make the nanos. That's what's killing the fusions. We make the nanos, according to the journal at least. And speaking of the number 2 nano mission, where the player specifically talks about, I made a number 2 nano and I learned about eruption attacks.
Honestly, the fact of the matter is that we made it. It doesn't delve into how exactly we made it, but we somehow have gotten this imagination power, and through defeating them, we collect their fusion matter and their essence from the fusion matter to create the imaginary friend, the nanos, if you would.
No. No.
They're not imaginary.
They talked about this in the tutorial. I'm looking through my notes. Dexter said something to the effect of, with the collected fusion matter you have from fighting, you can make a nano. Now, we both know through like our time in FusionFall that it also involves imaginary energy, but we haven't been told that in the game yet. At least, I don't even know if they are going to tell us in the game, but we at least know that we collect fusion matter, we fight the fusion, we create a nano with the fusion matter that we have after fighting the fusion. Like, our fusion matter somehow mixes with their fusion matter, and they already have that personality or whatever, and then poof, nano.
So at what point is our imagination? Wait, we're not technically really using anything.
What do you mean?
So we collect fusion matter.
Yes.
And then we combine it with the fusion's fusion matter and the essence of who the character is.
That's what we
think.
And
we recreate it into a nano.
As a nano, yeah.
Right. But that would imply fusion matter is a means for creation.
Well, I mean, it's constantly creating, right? Look at all the different monsters in this game.
Right. But what I'm trying to say is fusion matter. It's in the name.
Right.
It's a fusion.
So
when you sit there and you create the form and you're creating whatever the hell it is, it personifies the personality. Imagination by itself won't do anything, but the fusion matter is the whole catalyst. It's the catalyst and the matter of its existence.
I see what you're saying.
It's like you can't, without fusion matter, they wouldn't have even discovered it.
Nope. There would be no nanos. Though what use would a nano have outside of this war?
It's the perfect counter weapon. It's using the enemy's resources against itself.
Have you not been paying attention? That's literally what they told us in the tutorial.
I know, but I like getting too deep into it.
Literally, Dexter was like, thanks to the power of these nanos, we can fight back. We're going to send you back with the information of the nanos or something like that. And then he died with Ben. Probably holding hands with Ben. Let's be honest.
Holding toes.
Oh. Why would you say that? That's disgusting. I'm changing the subject. Fuse is confirmed to be a weirdo who wants to look at kids.
Hence the toe holding.
No. And in the mission map trap, Buttercup sends us to Pokeoaks Junior High to recover a map of Pokeoaks that Fuse apparently wants so bad. Why does he want that map of that school so bad? What is significant about the school that Fuse is like, I have to know how it looks.
You're asking the real questions here. No one's asked before.
Fuse is a creep. He's a creep. He wants to look at kids. I rest my case, Your Honor.
That is actually creep energy. Let's look into it.
It's never.
Why did he have the map to begin with? Where did he get the map?
That is a very good.
Did he
question.
make it himself?
No, they say one of the fusions got the map. They went to the school and they got the map.
Okay, so the map was already made. So who made the map?
The school, I guess. Just like the blueprints of the building.
So he sent a fusion spawn in to go steal it for him.
Then we go pick up the map, right? And when we pick up the map, Buttercup specifically notes Fuse wrote creepy writing all over this, and he's planning to go to the school. What did he write? What is going on with Fuse in this school?
Okay, first of all, he wrote in English. That's creepy,
right?
She understood.
Speaks English.
That actually, wow, yeah.
Also, Fuse confirmed to be a thing, like an entity, like a sentient, separate from everything else.
Separate from absolutely everything.
Fuse, he did this. I think they also call him a he. Sure,
I think he is a he.
I took out a bunch of monsters in Pokeoaks North and prevented Fuse from doing his quote unquote dirty work. What did you mean by that?
So yeah, no. Dirty work does not sound great.
The mission is called Pokeoaks Protection. Interesting choice of words.
I think we need Chris Hansen on the case.
Fuse, why don't you have a seat? What were you planning to do?
So, what were you planning on doing at this middle school? I see you have a map there in your hands.
What did you write on that map? You want to have fun?
Is this something you want to talk about?
I know you're the bad guy, but I didn't know you were a bad guy.
You know, I've met some pretty bad people in my life, but you're a real bad guy.
It's just
horrible.
Something to think about, you know? It's not something that you would think would come up. Using the
especially
junior high.
In this game, realizing it years later.
I cannot think of any other reason he would go to the school. It's already an infected zone. Maybe he wants to make the infection grow outside of the zone? I don't know. I can't put any more thought to it. I'm moving on.
Why specifically so close to Sector V? It doesn't make sense.
We're moving on. Sector V. There you go. I can latch on to that. Speaking of Sector V, and your second mission, right? I think it's second mission. The transmitter credit? No. What's the computer's second mission?
Spawn spree?
Spawn spree.
No, help Candy. No, that's the Shock and Owl. We defeat the Shock and
Shock and Owl, right? Once you complete this mission, computers gives you an item. An item that she says is a very special reward from the kids next door. The item is the Jet Ray wings. Are the kids next door all secretly Ben 10 fans? They're just like such fanboys and girls that they're like, we have to create some gear that looks like Jet Ray.
Off the technicality, if we're talking in the FusionFall universe, I would assume Ben's hometown is here, and that would also imply that he is canonically still the celebrity that he is.
Let me posit one thing to you before you go further. Ben is 15 years old in this game. He is a teenager.
Correct. That is absolutely correct.
Who is the biggest enemy besides adults and kids next door? Teenagers. Aliens.
Wait,
kids next door.
No, you're absolutely right. But also, you're basically telling me either Ben and the KND are mortal enemies, or
I think it's more
Ben is a double agent.
No. I think it's more of a fact that like Ben is like doing his own thing, and the kids are probably like conflicted. Like that's a teenager, but he's a hero. But he's a teenager, but he's a hero.
I don't know. Wasn't there double agent teenagers in the KND universe?
I think that was
they allowed them to grow older.
I vaguely remember something like that at the end of the show that was like a very big secret. Like it was not widely known. You had to be in the know. So
would it be so far-fetched to say that they consider him one of those because he's a hero?
Number 10. Number 10. Ben 10 is
That would make a lot of
10.
sense. Is there a number 10?
There is definitely a number 10. I'm confident that there's a number 10. I don't think much work went into the meshing of the worlds and outer lore of the shows. Like, I think you have to suspend some belief when playing the game. But my question still stands. Are the kids next door just like a very big fan of Ben 10? Why did computers say, here is a special item from the kids next door to you, and it's jet ray wings? It could have been anything. It could have been a 2x4. It was jet ray wings.
But also, this is number 10, and I would argue
You're gonna call him number
Young
10.
Gwen.
Young Gwen.
And her look very similar. You know, if you were to argue the art style.
Young Gwen and who?
Number 10.
Number 10. Oh, you're looking at number 10?
I sent it to you.
Let me see. Yeah, that actually does look like Gwen. Gwen is number 10, and Ben is her cousin. It's all connected.
Oh my god, it really is. Why are the dots lining up?
They should have had number 10 in the game from the start, from the jump. It would have really messed really well. Missed opportunity. It's my headcanon, though, for sure now.
We should have had number 10. It would have changed everything. Number
10 is at least better than number 5, who made us go on a mission to learn about the scamper. What's the name of that mission? Let me see.
Spawns? No. Going places.
Going places. Number 5 sent us on a mission to learn about the scampers. And at the end of the mission, she tells us we have to walk back to her because we need the exercise. She called us fat.
No. Yeah, let's call it as it is. She said it looks like we need the exercise, so we have to walk back. She called us fat in the trying to be nice, but kind of in a dick way. In that sense.
Timer. I'm gonna let you finish your thought, but that is the timer.
Well, I'm just saying that's how it is. I'm no fault to her. Maybe I did need to lose some weight. I don't know. Maybe my character just put on a couple pounds, but all I did was change my jacket. But hey, let's not get into the specifics. She taught us about the transportation, which honestly didn't make any sense. A lot of the time, the transportation in this game is, can you get there and not die, and then register the area? That's about it.
Let it be known that this was the last mission we did in our session. After we ran everywhere, never taking the scamper or a single monkey any place, and she still said, "Yeah, you didn't do enough. I can do more than that. Keep running around."
I understand you've been running half the day, and you definitely went across more than 10 miles. But come on back the same way you got there,
and I'll give you $60 and a level 2 crate.
Again, got scammed.
Most of these missions are scams. Honestly,
these level 2 crates that you get with the question mark are always garbage.
When you think about it long enough, like, we're really the only people doing anything in this game, and they're just standing around bossing us around. I'm so surprised they've lasted this long. They have had to do it just because they never interact with anything. Aside from watching number 5 like help us in the intro tutorial of the game, she doesn't do anything else. Also, why didn't she ask where Ben is? That's who she was with. Number 5, what happened to Ben?
Number 5, do you have anything to do with the disappearance of Dexter?
What do you know about the Omnitrix? Have you met?
What did you do to Blue?
Blue! We didn't even talk about Blue! Blue was on the Hall Hero Square Memorial.
Not only that, they killed Blue, and they have a mysterious inscription on the center of that pedestal.
Oh yeah! What does it say? What does the book say?
The hero is great. 5-name hero wild talks.
I don't know.
Or the hero is 5-name hero great wild talks.
I'm gonna say that I'm dumb because that didn't make any lick of sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I could have very well just did some brain damage trying to reason myself with what that means.
That's what gave you brain damage? Not the pizza mission?
No, that's further solidified it. I'm at a new level of brain damage that I never knew possible.
Me too, man. I can at least say that I'm walking away today with a deeper understanding of what's going on, and what's going on is a whole lot of foolishness. Just a whole lot of foolishness. Nobody's taking anything seriously. We're
All
all
we're
gonna
doing is running
die.
errands and playing tower defense. That's it. We're just defending small areas, building up things with 2x4s, you know, the usual.
Slapping wood on time machines and chasing fusions for mushrooms and pickles to put on a pizza. That's just some of the things you get into in the FusionFall world. And frankly, it hurts my brain to talk about it anymore today. So I've been Magic, and that's Matt.
Thank you for coming by.
I'm gonna go stick my head in the freezer and hope it like helps. Bye, guys.
It won't. It won't.
You never know.
You know what? You do as you will. Good luck. Have a great night, everyone.